Hey there, Repurpose Tribe. Listen, it's your girl, Michelle, and I am your repurposing teacher. And I help people repurpose pain, pitfalls, and problems and help them walk into and go into purpose. Listen, have you ever heard the saying, no call, no show, no job? We know that all too well if we have a 9 to 5. And we know that if we don't consistently show up, that there's going to be conversations had, there's going to be meetings, there may be given a couple of chances, but after that, there's not going to be a job. And we have to understand that with this golden key that we're going to talk about today about consistency, it applies to every area of our lives. It's amazing sometimes that we want the results of the inconsistency or the work we did not put in. We sometimes look over at other people's lives or what other people are doing, and we want the instant results, not realizing that they have taken, in my friend's words, baby steps consistently to get to where they are. And so we're going to jump right into this. And you first have to ask yourself the question, in what areas of your life do you want to see results that you're not seeing them? And then we have to be really honest with ourselves. Am I really being consistent? I mean, without excuses, without all of these justifications, life is going to be lifing. And there's always going to be excuses if we keep an excuse on deck or keep excuses in our bag. But consistency is not just a one-time choice. It becomes a choice. It starts with a choice, rather, but then it becomes a lifestyle. And people who are consistent see the results of it. And so, listen, let's get started. As we talk about consistency, what does it really look like? Okay, well, number one, you've got to decide to be consistent. How do I be and stay consistent? Number one, you've got to decide it. And you may be saying, well, that just seems self-explanatory. Well, we're going to go a little deeper because so many times we decide to do a lot of things. We make a lot of decisions in a day, sometimes without even thinking. When we're hungry, we decide to eat. Or decide where we're going to eat. When we need to take a bath or go to the bathroom, we decide to get up from wherever we are and to do that. When we're going somewhere, we decide to get dressed and to go. What decisions do you need to make as it pertains to wanting to see the fruit and the results of consistency in your life? You've got to make a decision today to, maybe I need to put this decision or choice I've made on my calendar, and it needs to be an alert that pops up every day. If we've decided here at the top of the new year, one of the biggest resolutions that reports say that people make is losing weight. Well, people have to decide how they're going to do that. They have to decide if they're going to go to the gym, to get dressed to go to the gym. Maybe I'm going to have a smoothie instead of pancakes. Decisions. Drop it in the chat, in whatever room, repurpose room you're in. Drop it in this chat. Decisions. I have to make some decisions. And so you're saying, well, that seems very elementary. It starts there. But not only do you have to decide to be and stay consistent, number two, you have to do it. You have to do it. I just said that sometimes we decide that I'm going to, that I'm hungry. I decide that I'm going to eat. Well, then I have to add another layer to that decision. I have to do something. I have to get up and prepare the food. I have to get up and drive to the restaurant. I have to get up and get dressed to go to the grocery store to get what I need in order to cook for myself if I'm hungry. If you're going to be and stay consistent as not just a one-time thing, we're going to go into that later, but a lifestyle, you have to decide number one, I'm going to decide that I want to do this. But in order to actually activate the decision I've just made, we have to do it. We have to do something. We have to add action steps to our decision to stay and be consistent. Thirdly, what do? We then do it again. Consistency is nothing more than repetitive decisions and doing. That's it. I'm going to say it again. Consistency is really nothing more than repetitive deciding and doing. And let me be clear, there are a lot of times our emotions and our feelings cause us to check out. I don't feel like doing this today. I don't want to do this today. Consistency says, I'm going to get up every single day, decision, and I'm going to do the things that I've decided to do, whether I feel like it or not, because emotions can't be trusted. I don't feel like we don't always feel like going to our 9 to 5, but we decide to do it because we have bills, we need to eat. There's a certain lifestyle we become accustomed to. And so we don't always consult our feelings. Consistency is doing the thing that I know that I need to do and sometimes want to do, even when I don't feel like doing it. I love what I get to do, but there are days that I don't feel like doing it. And those are the days that I have to make sure I go through these cycles that I'm helping you and I with today, that I've made a decision. I have decided to do such and such. And with my decision, Wonder Twin activate, I then do. Then what do? I do it again. Okay, then Michelle, what do I do then? I keep doing it. I know it sounds simple and elementary, but if it were so simple and elementary, why do so many of us get stuck in not walking in the level of consistency that we know is needed for what we say we want, or doors that we want open, or things that we want to manifest and produce? It's not going to be done outside of consistency. There's a couple of places that I frequent, and one of the number one reasons that I frequent some of these places is because they're consistent. They're open when they say they're going to be open. They have consistently kept the same level of customer care, or they've consistently carried the same brands that their clients and customers have become accustomed to. Here's a formula that I give my coaching clients, and this can be applied to anything in your life. Consistency breeds trust, just as inconsistency breeds distrust and sometimes chaos. I'm going to say that again. Consistency, it's a formula, math. Drop it in the chat. Math, M-A-T-H. Consistency equals trust, just as inconsistency equals distrust. For instance, if you say that you're going to run a business and you decide, I'm going to run the business, you then have to do what you have decided. And then you have to keep doing, and you have to keep doing it again. Why? Because if your clients or the people you're advertising to, you keep putting things out there, but then when they come to you to get those things, you don't follow through, you don't call them back, you don't communicate, you don't answer emails, you don't answer DMs, you don't answer inboxes, you don't do the deliverables on the dates that you tell them that you're going to, and you consistently, here it is, some businesses and some people are consistently inconsistent. Oh, wow. All of us know someone in our lives who are consistently late. Like it's like their t-shirt. I'm the late one. I'm always late. And they have a plethora of excuses why they have become accustomed to a lifestyle of not ever showing up on time. I'm not going to even get into the mental and psychological reasons and ramifications of a person that's always late. Number one, it tells you that they don't respect your time. They don't respect everybody else getting there on time. It's a lack of respect. It is simply a lack of respect. But they have become used to that lifestyle. And let's go back to the top. They've decided that they're going to be late. And then they've also decided the excuses they use. And so consistency equals math equation, trust. Think of the brands that we trust that have been a staple in our lives. Sometimes you see a family business, maybe they have a van or a truck, and they'll have John Doe and Sons. And right up under the name, they'll have 35 years in the business. That's consistency. 10 years in the business. They literally put it as part of their brand and advertising on the side of their vans, on their vehicles. It's on their billboard. It's on their website to do what? To show people that they've been tried, true, and tested in what? Consistency. So we have to ask ourselves, what area of my life do I want to produce? And not just every once in a while, but consistently. I have another client, several really, and one of them, a couple of them are like, well, how do you do this? And how do I do this on my social media? How do I do this on Instagram? I said, well, you got to show up for your people, for your tribe, for your community, consistently. Does that mean that I have to post or do something every day? No. But what I should not do or be able to do is go to any of your pages, any of your platforms, and see 5, 10, 12, 30-day gaps. And then we want people to buy into the inconsistency. Well, people don't support, and people don't show up, and customers don't. And if you really sit down and peel back the layers, it's not everyone else. It's my lack of consistency. It's my lack of follow through. It's my lack of communication. And so if you and I are going to be, we are becoming, I am consistent, and stay, maintain, consistent, we have to decide that we're going to do it. It's a decision. And then to add fuel or activate my decision, I have to do. And then what? I do it again. And then what do? I keep doing it. Do I ever, am I always going to feel like it? No. As much as, again, as I love what I get to do, I don't always feel like it. I don't always feel like it. Sometimes that's an indication that I need to fall back. I need rest. I need to make sure that I'm guarding against burnout. And maybe I may do a video on burnout. If you need that, drop it in the chat. Say, do a burnout video. Do a burnout talk. But I know that there's certain things that I put in place to be consistent. You don't consistently get up at 3 and 4 in the morning to do something that you're not even necessarily paid to do if you haven't made a decision to do it, if you're not committed to it. See, you can tell people's level of commitment by how consistent they are, even when they don't want to. And so if we're going to be and stay, maintain, consistent, it's got to be a lifestyle. I've got to decide, do, I got to then do again. I've got to keep doing. And lastly, rinse and repeat. I got to just keep the cycle going. Even when you finish something, you still apply this cycle. Once I have this completed, I have then got my eyes on something else that I'm getting ready to do. I've decided, and then I got to do, then I got to do again. I got to keep doing, and then I rinse and repeat. It's nothing, we want this magic pill, or we want this big aha bubble over our head, when consistency is really the mundane, everyday little things consistently over time, and then there's a result. And so get honest with yourself. New Year's resolutions, goals, vision boards, whatever you have in place. What is the one area where you need to decide to get consistent? And then you need to back it up with action. You need to back it up with more action. Well, I'm not motivated. Motivation usually comes from movement, not the other way around. Motivation is something that comes with movement. When I decided to start walking, I wasn't motivated to walk. Let's be clear. But I made a decision. I put on my walking shoes. I strapped up with my backpack or anything that I needed, a bottle of water. And once I started walking and once I started moving, I even popped in and did a live on my walk. Again, motivation is a feeling. That's why a lot of us keep needing people to come in and pump us up. But at some point, you have to move. The cheerleaders are on the sideline, but the players have to play the game. Oh, that was good. The cheerleaders are on the sideline, but the players who have decided they want to be on this team, they have to play the game. And so that's it. If you and I want to be and stay consistent, it has to be a lifestyle. We have to decide, we have to do, then do again, keep doing, and rinse and repeat. What is the area or areas? And I just encourage you to start with one. A lot of times we overwhelm ourselves in thinking, I'm going to set a goal to do 20 things. And then we become so overwhelmed that we do nothing. What do you need to? What are the one or two major areas of your life this year, maybe over the next 6 months, 90 days, that you want to be consistent and get up every single day and do it? When I first did a 28-day dream devotion, then we did a 90-day challenge, and having to get up every single day, it was a decision, by 5 a.m. at the latest, to be on live with people at 6 a.m. at that time. I had to make the decision to do that. And I didn't make the decision every morning. I made it at the onset. I made it again the night before, the week before. Why? Because I had to write, I had to prepare. That's another thing. When you make a decision, set yourself up for success. So I had to write and get each day mapped out, and that way I kind of knew what I was doing every day. It wasn't like I woke up and, threw some Play-Doh on the wall and say, okay, let's see what sticks today, what we're going to do. No, I set myself up. I planned around the decision that I made. And then I got up every day and I implemented and executed. And we've done it now for 4 plus years consistently. And so what is the one area, two at the most, where you need to decide, I'm going to make this decision in this one area, and I'm going to get up every single day, and I'm going to do it. We've heard it said that it takes 21 days to form a new habit. It takes a little longer than that. I think there's a new study now that goes into 45, 50 plus days. But let's just decide every day to get up and do what we said we're going to do. If you're running a business, how are you really running it? And defensiveness and emotion aside, are you consistent? And if you're not, your clients will tell you that, verbally or non-verbally. Your money will reflect consistency. Again, we started out at the onset. No show, no call, you won't have a job. If you're supposed to be at work Monday through Friday and you decide that I'm just going to go to work on Tuesday and Thursday, and that was not what you agreed to, you don't have to worry about getting up and going to that job on Tuesday and Thursday, because you won't have it. We have to stop rewarding inconsistency. Well, I made one big giant step, and we reward that. But then we die off for 2 weeks or a month, and I'm back. That's inconsistency. And we want people to buy into that. We want people to be okay with that. We want people to support that. I'm doing a pop-up, and your whole motto, and you're only known for pop-ups. And you're not even doing the kind of pop-ups that you post and announce. You just popping up. I did a pop-up and nobody showed up. Well, there's been a flat line for 30 days. We didn't even know where you were. So we weren't even checking for you. And so we're getting emotional and defensive towards people, towards clients, towards family, who will not buy into, condone, or reward inconsistency. And let me tell you something about inconsistency before we close. Inconsistency not only causes other people not to trust us. If we were honest, inconsistency, lean in, causes us not to trust and believe in ourselves. Ooh. Part of some of our self-esteem issues is we know within that we have not gave 100%. Everybody else aside, finger pointing, blaming, deflections aside, defensiveness aside, if the formula that I give my clients, consistency equals trust, just as inconsistency equals distrust, not only does that reflect on how other people deal with us, it also reflects how we feel about ourselves. We know when we're given 100% consistently. We know when we're half blanking it. We know. Nobody has to tell us that. But yet we want people to support that. No. Look around. Businesses that are not consistent, that don't perform well, that don't listen to client input, customers, they don't listen to customer surveys, or they don't ask their customers what they want. And I see it on social media all the time. People going back and forth with bad reviews, being defensive and attacking people. People even go live about it. And not once do they say, you know what? All 30 of these people were telling the truth. I was inconsistent. I didn't honor the hours on my door. I didn't do what I said I was going to do. I didn't follow through. I didn't respond. And when I did, it was with attitude. You know, these customers get on my nerves. If you don't want to communicate with customers, customer care and business may not be for you. Or you need to get someone else to do that part of the business, because it is a huge bulk of dealing with and serving your clients. And if you're not consistent in that, you can show up with the greatest thing since sliced bread today. If you've not been consistent, people probably will not trust you enough to buy in. So, hey, It's your girl, Michelle, and I just dropped in on today to drop you some golden keys, or one of the golden keys is consistency. It's one of the number one questions I get asked all the time. How do you do this? How do you stay consistent? How do you, and there's nothing magic about it. It's a choice. And then it becomes a lifestyle. And then it becomes a part of who you are. It becomes a part of your core. And so then it's just, and you rinse and repeat. Nothing magic. No, great big thing. It's just a decision. And then you do. Then you do again. You keep doing, and you rinse and repeat. So I hope this helps you on today. If it does, drop me a line in the chat. Inbox me. DM me, email me at repurposetribe@yahoo.com. Thank you for all of those of you that support the platform, that support what we're doing here in Repurpose. It's not just ministry. We are helping so many people. So I want to thank you for your seeds. I want to thank you for your generosity. We could not do what we do every single day without you. We're helping cancer patients. We're providing meals. We're sending flowers to the sick and shut in. The list goes on. And those of you that are in the chat that know that they can chime in and say, and we do. And so you guys make that possible. And I want to thank you for that. Listen, it's your girl, Michelle. Until next time, peace. But listen, be consistent, be intentional, and be mindful. And see what happens. We are going to have the most amazing, mind-blowing, productive 2024. Love you guys.